Your attention is being stolen. Every reaction you give to a fool is a piece of your life you'll never get back. Every response to drama, every emotional reaction to noise, every moment spent on things that don't matter, stolen, gone forever. And you wonder why you feel drained, scattered, powerless. Because you've never learned the most powerful skill of the Stoics, the art of ignoring. Marcus Aurelius ruled an empire surrounded by noise, critics, conspirators, fools demanding his attention. He could have spent every moment reacting, defending, engaging. Instead, he mastered selective blindness, strategic deafness, deliberate indifference. He wrote, "The best revenge is not to be like your enemy." His enemies wanted his attention, his anger, his reaction. He gave them nothing. He ignored them into irrelevance. And in that ignoring, he found power. Today, you learn this art. The discipline of saying no with your attention. The strength of treating irrelevant things as if they don't exist. Because they don't. Not unless you give them power by noticing them. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to ignore, how to ignore it, and why ignoring is the ultimate act of dominance. Before we begin, if you're ready to stop being controlled by every distraction and become untouchable, subscribe to The Forge and like this video. Comment, "I am untouchable," to declare your commitment to this practice. Let's forge the art of ignoring. The parasites of attention. First, understand what's happening to you. You're being farmed. Your attention is the product, and everyone wants a piece of it. Social media, news, drama, opinions, outrage, trends, all designed to hijack your focus, to make you react, to keep you engaged. And every second you give them is a second stolen from your life, your mission, your peace. Seneca wrote, "It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it." You're wasting it on parasites. Parasites don't create. They consume. They feed on your energy and give nothing back. And you're feeding them voluntarily. Someone insults you online. You respond. You've just fed the parasite, given it your time, your emotional energy, your power. A controversy erupts. You engage. You argue. You take sides. You've just fed the parasite. Wasted hours on something that won't matter tomorrow. A trend appears. You feel pressure to have an opinion, to participate. You've just fed the parasite. Diverted attention from what actually matters. The Stoics were ruthless about this. Epictetus said, "If you wish to improve, be content to appear foolish and ignorant." Translation: let them think whatever they want. Their opinion is not your concern. Marcus Aurelius practiced this daily. As emperor, millions of people had opinions about him, judgments, criticisms, demands. He could have spent his entire life responding, defending, engaging. Instead, he ignored 99% of it, only acted on what aligned with his principles. He wrote, "You always own the option of having no opinion." No opinion, not even a reaction, complete indifference. That's the art of ignoring, treating parasites as if they don't exist, because to you, they don't. Here's the protocol. Identify the parasites in your life, the people, platforms, and topics that drain energy without giving value. Social media drama, news cycles, toxic people, pointless controversies. Write them down. Then make a vow. You will treat these as invisible, not engage to disagree, not react to refute. Complete ignoring. They don't exist in your world. This is the first step. Recognize the parasites and starve them of your attention. The 3 things you must ignore today. Now let me be specific. 3 categories you must ignore starting today. Thing 1. Insults from people who don't matter. Someone insults you, online, in person, doesn't matter. Your instinct is to defend, to prove them wrong, to make them understand. Stop. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "How much more grievous are the consequences of anger than the causes of it? The insult is temporary, meaningless, just sounds or pixels. But your reaction, that depletes you, disturbs your peace, makes you reactive. You're doing more damage to yourself than they ever could." The Stoic response: ignore completely. Not passive-aggressive silence. Not "I'm above this," while seething inside. Genuine indifference. As if a dog barked at you on the street. You don't stop to argue with the dog. Epictetus taught, if someone speaks badly of you, consider whether what they say is true. If it is, correct yourself. If it isn't, laugh it off. Either learn or laugh. Never be wounded. Here's the practice. Next time someone insults you, pause. Ask, does this person's opinion affect my mission, my character, my life? If no, and it's almost always no, you ignore. Completely. No response. No acknowledgement. They cease to exist in your attention. That's power. Because they wanted a reaction. You gave them nothing. Thing 2. Trends you don't care about. Every week there's a new trend, a new controversy, a new thing everyone is supposed to have an opinion about. And you feel pressure. I should know about this. I should participate. Wrong. Seneca said, to be everywhere is to be nowhere. When you pay attention to everything, you master nothing. Most trends are irrelevant noise, designed to distract you from what actually matters. The Stoic asks, does this align with my values? Does this serve my mission? If no, it doesn't exist. You don't need an opinion on every topic. You don't need to participate in every conversation. You don't need to know about every trend. You need to focus on what matters to you. Everything else is noise. Here's the practice. When a trend appears, ask, will this matter to me in 1 year? If no, ignore it. Don't research it. Don't form an opinion. Don't engage. Treat it as background noise, irrelevant to your path. Thing 3. Things outside your control. This is the core of Stoicism, the dichotomy of control. You control your thoughts, your actions, your character, your responses. You don't control other people, outcomes, events, the past, the future. Most people waste 90% of their energy trying to control things outside their power, worrying about what might happen, stressing about what others will do, ruminating about what already happened, all ignored by the Stoic. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. If it's outside your control, it doesn't deserve your attention." Here's the practice. When you find yourself stressed, ask, can I control this? If yes, take action. If no, ignore it completely. Not suppress it. Not fight it. Ignore it. Redirect attention to what you can control. This is the second step. Ignore insults from fools. Ignore irrelevant trends. Ignore what's outside your control. Silence as dominance now. Understand what ignoring actually communicates. The masses think ignoring is weakness. You're just avoiding confrontation. You're scared to engage. Wrong. Ignoring is the ultimate power move because it communicates. You're not worth my energy, not worth my words, not worth my attention, not worth my reaction. That's dominance. When you argue, you've placed them on your level. When you defend, you've given them power. When you react, you've admitted they matter. But when you ignore, you've declared them irrelevant. Seneca wrote, "The best answer to anger is silence, not because you're afraid, because you're sovereign. You choose what deserves your attention, and they didn't make the cut." Think about this. Someone insults you in public. You ignore them completely. Continue your conversation as if they didn't speak. What happens? They look foolish, desperate for attention they're not getting. Their power evaporates. You look unshakable, unbothered, in complete control. That's the power of ignoring. Marcus Aurelius was emperor. People spoke against him constantly, plotted, criticized, demanded responses. He ignored most of it, only engaged when strategically necessary. And his silence was more powerful than any defense could be. Because silence says, I don't need to defend myself to you. I don't need your approval. You don't exist in my world. That's dominance. Here's the practice. Next time someone tries to provoke you, remain silent. Not tense silence. Calm, indifferent silence. Continue your task as if they didn't speak. Watch them dissolve into irrelevance. Your silence is your statement. And it's more powerful than any words. This is the third step. Understand that ignoring is not weakness. It's dominance. It's sovereignty. The ghost protocol. Finally, let me give you the ultimate application of the art of ignoring, the ghost protocol. This is when you disappear completely from the world's attention economy. When you become invisible to noise, not antisocial, not isolated, strategic ghosting. You stop posting for validation, stop engaging in debates, stop announcing your moves, stop performing for an audience. You go dark, build in silence, execute without broadcasting. The world forgets about you. And that's exactly the point. Seneca practiced this during his exile. Removed from Rome's political theater, he became invisible to the power games. And in that invisibility, he wrote his greatest works, built his deepest wisdom, became immortal, while those who stayed in the spotlight are forgotten. Marcus Aurelius wrote, Meditations in private, never meant for publication, complete ghosting of public opinion. He built his philosophy in silence, and it outlasted the empire. Here's what Ghost Protocol means for you. For 90 days, you disappear from the attention economy. No social media posts about your transformation. No updates. No sharing progress. No engaging in online debates. No commenting on trends. No reacting to provocations. You become a ghost, operating in silence. What happens during those 90 days? You build. You execute. You transform. Without distraction. Without the dopamine of validation. Without the drain of meaningless engagement. And when you emerge, you're unrecognizable, because you spent 90 days building instead of performing. Epictetus said, don't explain your philosophy, embody it. Ghost Protocol is embodiment, no explanations, no announcements, just silent execution, then results that speak louder than any words could. Here's the practice. Starting today, go ghost for 90 days. Delete social media apps. Don't post, don't engage, don't react. When people ask what you're doing, say, working on something. That's it. Disappear, build, transform, return undeniable. This is the fourth step. Ghost Protocol. Disappear from the noise, build in silence, become untouchable. The power of ignoring. Here's what you now know. Attention is your most valuable resource. Parasites want to steal it, starve them. 3 things to ignore: insults from fools, irrelevant trends, things outside your control. Silence is dominance. Ignoring communicates, you're not worth my energy. That's power. Ghost Protocol. Disappear from the attention economy. Build in silence. Return transformed. This is the art of ignoring, the superpower the Stoics mastered. Most people react to everything, engage with everyone, give attention to all noise, and they're exhausted, scattered, powerless. You're going to be different. You're going to master selective blindness, strategic deafness, deliberate indifference. You're going to ignore 99% of what demands your attention and focus 100% on what actually matters. And in that focus, you'll find power the masses never discover. Because while they're distracted by parasites, you're building empires. While they're reacting to noise, you're executing in silence. While they're performing for validation, you're becoming undeniable. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." Stop arguing, stop engaging, stop reacting, ignore the noise, focus on the signal, and become untouchable. Subscribe to Stoic Forge if you choose this path. Comment, "I am untouchable," if you're ready to master the art of ignoring. And remember, the world will try to steal your attention tomorrow. Every distraction, every provocation, every piece of noise. Will you give it, or will you ignore it into irrelevance? The choice is yours. Stay untouchable. You always own the option of having no opinion. Marcus Aurelius. Master the art of ignoring and become free.